G'day guys, thanks for tuning in. I just wanted to make this quick video to let you know about what I've got coming up. I'm going back to the Overland Track in Tasmania. Now, if you've watched our recent series which we uploaded to YouTube, the Big Lap, and if you've seen that and you've seen episode 10, you'll have saw that I walked the Overland Track then. And that was the first time I had done it, and I went back a few years after that, so this will be my third trip back there. So I'm currently in Singapore, and I'm actually on a training walk now, and it's a 10-kilometre round trip from my house. I've loaded up the pack, just my big day pack for this one. It's about 10 kilos with some water and some weights in there, just to sort of get into the swing of things. So I'm going to thought, well, I'll take you along with me on this training hike. I'm doing this hike about 3 times a week at the moment, just in the lead up to the trip. I'm actually leaving for Tasmania next Thursday, so about a week from now, actually literally a week from now, I'll be getting ready to go to the airport. So doing this hike about 3 times a week, and just trying to get the fitness up to the point where I'm sort of ready to go and tackle the Overland Track. The Overland Track is one of Australia's most iconic hiking tracks, and it's pretty much in the centre of Tassie in the high country. It runs between Cradle Mountain in the north and Lake St Clair further south. It's roughly about 80 kilometres long if you walk the whole thing. It's probably 100 if you do the majority of the side trips along the way. And having done it twice now, it's just a fantastic experience, and I've been keen for a long time to get back there and do it again. And so yeah, this time I'm going to get to take you with me. And unlike in the Big Lap, where you probably only saw about sort of 10, 12, 15 minutes of the hike, this time I'm going to make a lot more content. Several videos before I go, starting with this one. And I'm going to record as much as I can of the whole experience along the way. So if you are planning your own trip to the Overland Track, well then hopefully this is going to be a great guide for you to know what to expect and how to plan for it. And in fact, at the end of the series of videos, the last video I'll do will be like a complete guide, a complete wrap up of the whole thing, how to book it, how to prepare everything, sort of been consolidated into one video. But I'll do that last once I've actually done it and kind of got all the updated information. Now, the Overland Track is not the most difficult walking track in Australia or anywhere for that matter. It's very managed, but that's not to say it's not a great experience. It certainly is a challenge. You've got plenty of uphills and downhills and working your way through tree roots and so on. But unlike other tracks which you just sort of figure it out for yourself, the Overland Track's got a lot of boardwalks, and it's well managed by the Tassie National Parks. There's huts along the way, so the idea is that you walk from hut to hut and you can sleep in the huts. You can also camp at the huts. They have platforms outside, you can camp on those. So the track snakes its way through just pristine Tasmanian wilderness, and apart from the track itself and the huts that you find sporadically along the way, it's just completely pristine wilderness. There's no fences, there's no cattle, there's no sheep, there's no signs of human activity other than this narrow sliver of a track that sort of goes through the middle. So you really get a sense of what real raw Tasmanian wilderness is all about. So in the training for the walk, I've been doing this particular hike, which is a 10-kilometre round trip, and as you'll see soon, it's pretty much flat for the first 3 k's. Then it just goes pretty much uphill for the last 2 k's to the summit of Bukatima, which is the highest point in Singapore. And while it's not a particularly high mountain, it's just a pimple on the landscape really, but it's a pretty solid sort of 30-minute uphill slog to the summit, which is good. It gets the heart rate going, gives you a sense of what you're going to experience on the Overland Track. So that's the thing, I'm trying to basically simulate as much as I can the conditions of the track. I'm actually wearing my boots, even though I don't really need to for this, but I'm wearing them just to make sure they're super comfortable when I get there. And I'm carrying weight on my back. So I've been steadily adding more weight to my pack, and I've got it up to about 10 kilos now. And I've got to make maybe 3 more of these training hikes before I leave next week, and I'll just keep adding a couple of kilos each time, so that the last one, which will be a few days before I actually start the hike, well, I'll have a good 16 kilos in the pack, which will be something similar to what I'll have on day 1 of the hike. So gradually build it up and just sort of build up the fitness and the resilience to lugging probably what's going to be around 18 to 20 kilos of pack around, at least for the first few days. it'll gradually get lighter as we go along and I eat all the food. So I've got 3 mates joining me on this hike, Rob, Zach and Gary, and I'm going to be meeting them in Launceston. We're all sort of converging in Launceston on next Friday, so that'll be good. I'll introduce you to those guys when we get there. Alright, this is the start of the uphill bit now. It's where the real workout happens. Just got to change down to low range and crawl up here a bit slower than normal pace. Right, we're nearly at the top of the steep bit. And it levels out a bit and then it's just a steady uphill to the top for the last sort of kilometre, thereabouts. Not that much really, actually, 700-800 metres I think. So along with doing this hike sort of 3 times a week, I do a lot of other walking as well. You know, I walk the dog a lot, you know, at least 2 or 3 walks a day of, you know, 1 to 2 kilometres. Not a hell of a lot, but it all adds up. I managed to average over 10,000 steps a day for the whole of last year, and I could chop at least half of that up to walking the dog. So there's a tip: want to stay fit, get a dog. No, you're talking about. All right, now it gets serious. This is the last 150 metres, and it's straight up these steps. This is the training for the actual Cradle Mountain-like conditions when you're day one climbing up the side of Cradle Mountain, and it's a slog. So it's good that they tack this on the end of the Bukatima hike. Very considerate of them. You can take the road up, the path that I was just on, and you can go that way, which is about 300 metres longer but a lot easier. Try not to breathe too heavy so I can pretend that I'm fitter than what I really am. Are you convinced? Nearly there. Heart rate up to into the 150s. What zone's that? Yeah, zone 4 training now. We're running ultra marathons at this rate. Oh, I can see the summit. Yeah, 163. Yeah, it's not exactly a Himalayan mountain, is it? But it's just a good workout, and you know, I can literally walk to it from my front door, so that's what I love about it. You know, it'll take me 56 minutes to get up here, 1500 kilojoules burned, just under 5Ks. So now I'm going to go back down the hill the long way. Check out that little baby there. See him there? It's quite big. He's 6 foot, I reckon. I don't reckon that's a python actually. These people just walk straight past him. I just wish he'd go up into the bush so I could know that he's not going to get anybody as they go past. Didn't scare him off. You know what sort of snake this is? Do you know what it is? Huh? Do you know what sort of snake that is?
This one is the black cobra.
Black cobra, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Black cobra, okay. That's not good. He's going now. Yeah, he's going now. He was on the track when I came down here. Okay guys, I'm heading home now, and when I get there I'm going to make the next video in this series, which is going to be all about my gear. I'm going to run you through all the gear I'm taking, why I've chosen it, how much it all weighs, and some of the things that I've bought. I bought quite a lot of new gear for this trip, and I'll sort of give you a bit of a rationale as to why I chose different things. And then tonight I'm actually going to go camping to one of the very few places in Singapore you can actually camp out, down at East Coast Park, which is on the beach. Going to pack up my bag, jump on a train, head over there, and then it's about, from the station to the campground, it's about an hour's walk. So that'll give me a chance to sort of road test the pack, because it's a new pack, I've never used it before, and set up my new tent. I bought a new tent, quite a lightweight tent, uses a trekking pole as the main pole. So I just want to basically put it all through its paces with a week to go before the trip, so that if there's any issues, I've got a window of opportunity to sort them out, versus sort of get there down the Overland Track and then find out, oh, there's something missing from the tent, or my trekking pole doesn't work, or the pack is terribly uncomfortable and I need to get an alternative. Some of the locals that you see a lot of around here, monitor lizards, you could almost pat them, they're so relaxed. We'll run away eventually. There we go. Plenty of reptiles in Singapore, that's for sure. A heap of videos planned for this series, which will roll out over the next couple of months, and I'd love to take you along with me. I really want to showcase the Overland Track. It's one of the most beautiful tracks I've ever walked, probably equal to the best I've ever done. I've done a few in New Zealand, which are also pretty specky, but the Overland Track is a special experience. And if you're planning to do it yourself, this will be a great research for you. So you know what to expect, and if you don't think you'll ever get there and do it yourself, well, come along with me and I'll show it to you as best I can. So make sure you're subscribed, and you've got the bell icon turned on so that you'll get the notifications when the new videos go live. And if you wouldn't mind giving this video a like, just to give it a bit of a boost with the algorithm. Try and say that with a mouthful of peanuts. Give it a bit of a boost, that'd be awesome. Thanks guys, I'll see you again soon.